got this knowledge directly from you, from your movies, from your books, and just from talking to you, that black people didn't start voting Democrat in the 1960s and 70s as we've been taught. They started voting Democrat in the 30s and 40s because FDR promised this economic boom. Black people said, well, we have to help our economy even if we have to hold our noses and go to the voting booth. But they sort of were sold a bill of goods then too, right? Did FDR's New Deal, this is what I learned from you, that attracted blacks to vote D, right?
Yes. Herbert Hoover in 1932 got 3 out of every 4 black votes. But by 1936, 4 years later, FDR got 3 out of 4 black votes over his Republican opponent. So the switch, the black switch, did not occur, as you say, in the 60s. It occurred in the 1930s, and it occurred because of FDR's New Deal promises.
And back then, you and I have talked about this, the black family unit was much like the white family unit. A father, a mother, a home that was traditional, was American. I think the first black millionaire who was a woman, actually the first millionaire who was a woman in America was a black woman. So black people were prospering. They were doing very well. The family unit was good. I think it was 70 or 80% mother, father, child in the house. Today, it's 70% single mother in the house when a black baby is born. Why did that happen? And did FDR's New Deal not help black people?
Well, FDR's New Deal excluded, for the most part, black people. Now, some blacks were employed in the Civilian Conservation Corps and some of the other work programs, but FDR cut a dirty deal with the racists in his own party. Right. Later, these people would be called the Dixiecrats, but they were racist Democrats, and they were pro-New Deal, but they hated blacks. And FDR basically said, let's pick the 2 professions that blacks are most concentrated in. Number 1, domestic service. Number 2, agricultural labor. And let's exclude those from New Deal programs. So even though blacks got all these promises, the actual benefits that went to blacks were, in effect, crumbs.
Well, when it comes to the Dixiecrats and the alleged big switch of the 1960s and 70s, which didn't happen, you and I both know it didn't happen. Actually, 1 or 2 people we can mention did the switch, and everybody else sort of stayed the same. Joe Biden recently echoes sort of what Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have been saying since the 1990s. They weren't so bad. Come on. You know, Robert Byrd had to be that guy. Who's a young guy from the South who wasn't in the KKK? And now Joe Biden sort of is blowing it off like they're just good old boys too, right?
Yeah, I mean, Bill Clinton's mentor was Orville Faubus, the Arkansas governor. This was the guy who stood in the schoolhouse in the 50s to block black children from being able to go to school. Biden's buddies were the racist segregationists, and these were in the Democratic Party. Biden names Talmadge, he names Eastland, he named Fritz Hollings, all Democrats. So it's really interesting because the left, the historians, they've been working really hard to convince us that all these racist Dixiecrats become Republicans, but Biden kind of let the cat out of the bag by saying that wasn't the case. These were all guys in my own party. And in fact, he considers them to this day to be models of civility. Yes, they were racist, but they knew how to get things done.